Well, I'm going to get this one of these days. Good morning and welcome to Magic Monday on Brewing Happiness. How'd you like my intro? A little rough on the execution here, but we're going to get it down as I transition from sitting in my bedroom, turn on my camera to a real and official show. So, welcome Brewing Happiness on this Magic Monday as we celebrate Viva Las Vegas. And in this instance, we mean your vagus or your vagal nerve. One of the secrets to one of the absolute secrets to our health, happiness, longevity, and excellent immune system. So, the vagal nerve is, so before we get started, hey, we're going to talk again, like I said, I like Magic Mondays. I like to talk about something that's a little bit magic. And this vagal nerve is a tiny bit of magic, something you can do to improve your health. We know that life is about vibration, right? We talk about that everything is, there is no reality, there is no mass. Physical things are just molecules vibrating so very, very quickly that they appear to be solid. And the faster you vibrate, it seems the better it is for you. And your vagal nerve is something, good morning, Debbie. Your vagal nerve is something that helps us understand, or that regulates and manages so much in our system. So, thank you for watching. If you're here on the replay, drop me a line. Let me know that you like the topic, or if it just seems out of whack to you, I'd love to know. But let's get started. The vagus nerve, not a place in Las Vegas, right? The vagus nerve is the longest and most complex set of our 12 of the 12 pairs of cranial nerves that emanate from the brain. 12 pairs of cranial nerves, the longest, the most complex is the vagal nerves. It transmits information basically from your skin, from your skin, from your brain, from your organs, from the surface of these things to the tissues and organs in your body, from your brain to your tissues. The goal of the vagus nerve is to keep us in a state of homeostasis. And that basically, what's that? All your systems are stable and running. Homeostasis is health, right? Everything's good. So your vagal nerve is tasked with keeping everything running on time. It's the train station, keeping all the information coming back and forth and making sure everything's happening in the right time. And it plays the role of activating our parasympathetic functions. Now, we've talked in the past, right? Sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. Parasympathetic, rest and digest, relax and repair, right? It's a function of calm. So the vagal nerve helps us stay in contact or in the state of our parasympathetic nervous system. It is, in fact, the main part of the parasympathetic nervous system, and it oversees so many bodily functions. It reflects your body's ability to regulate inflammation, your gut flora, your heart rate, and these in turn regulate how you feel, your mood, your emotions, and just kind of how your day is going, right? All these things that the vagal nerve or the vagus nerve is touching control your mood, right? It influences your HPA, which is your hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis. This is where emotions and behavior is managed, right? You know, how you feel is managed. It lowers your heart rate, stimulates your blood sugar balance, increases your stomach acidity to help you with digestive enzyme production. And I don't know if you're paying attention these days, we all know about those digestive enzymes and how important they are, right? Your vagal system controls bile in your gallbladder to help break down all the fats that we eat. It is involved in your immune response, digestion, heart rate. It actually establishes the connection between your brain and your gut, right? You're sending information about your inner organs to the brain via afferent fibers. We're going to learn so many new words today. Afferent fibers. Afferent fibers are nerve fibers that are the axons, or the nerve fibers carried by sensory nerves that relay sensory information from sensory receptors to sensory regions of the brain. So, what do we call them? Afferent fibers. Just this thing. Those are just the roadways that the information is traveling on, right? Now, studies show that stimulating your vagus nerve can treat psychiatric and gastrointestinal trouble. More and more studies in science are coming to grips with, or coming to know the connection between our head and our gut, right? Our brains and our guts. That what's happening in your gastrointestinal digestive system is definitely impacting how you feel and your overall health, right? So we all want resiliency. The goal here is resiliency, and that's the ability to recover quickly from difficulties, the ability to spring back into shape, right? Elasticity. Aging is about the loss of elasticity, so we very much care about elasticity. Now, your vagal tone, that's your personal vibration, right? We're all a bunch, like I said, we're all just beings vibrating, and your vagal nerve, or your vagal tone, is your personal vibration. It can be measured. They have machines that can measure this, right? It's correlated with your ability to regulate stress, which in turn is kind of your resiliency, right? Kind of your resiliency is how well do you deal with stress? How well do you bounce back? How well do you get back up after you have a knockdown? Because trust me, life's all about knockdowns, right? But the good news, here's the best news. Magic Monday. The reason this is magic is you can influence your vagal nerve and your vibration and your personal vibration. Your actions, your behaviors you can take charge of this, right? This is a little bit of chicken and the egg. I don't feel good because I'm not vibrating high enough. So now I'm going to do some things to vibrate higher so I feel better. It's our victorious cycle we want to get into. The vagal nerve is key to this brain-gut axis, right? The vagal nerve, it influences the entire enteric nervous system. Who knew? We have multiple nervous systems, right? Which is part of the peripheral nervous system that it controls gastrointestinal behavior, independently of the central nervous system. So the gut has its own nervous system, independent of main control, right? The gut's like, you guys do what you got to do, but we got more controls going on over here, right? It produces more than 30 neurotransmitters and has more neurons than your spine, right? More going on in the brain-gut axis than in the central nervous system, right? That's how important this is. Our gut's directly linked to our immune system, and, like I said, more and more studies showing the link between gastrointestinal trouble, stomach trouble, gut flora, physical missing bacteria, physical inflammation, chronic inflammation, and what? Psychological stresses. This is a fact. This is not like still up for discussion, right? These are the things that are coming out in science. And our vagal tone is the degree of activity in our parasympathetic nervous system, changing our heart rate and other key functions to keep the gut calm, at rest, producing just the right amount of stuff we need to digest our food, because too much, bad for us, not enough, not digesting, right? Vagal tone is just how toned or healthy that vagus nerve is. Your vibration is the reflection of how healthy this gut flora brain connection system connection communication is happening, right? We're going to measure it. Well, we're not going to measure it, but this is how they measure it. Vagal, the higher your vagal tone, the higher vibration, the higher rate at which you vibrate, the easier it is to get into a relaxed state. The easier it is to bounce back from stress. The more elasticity we have, and therefore the more resilience, right? So research in psychological science in 2013 shows a positive feedback loop between the high vagal tone, good physical health, and good emotional health. Now here's the kicker. Science doesn't really understand this connection, how this works, our link between positive thinking and good health. We think we do, but honestly, still, again, I don't know how the TV works, but I still enjoy watching it. So I don't know exactly how this works, that we don't know exactly physiologically how positive thinking impacts our physical health, but we know that the correlation is there, right? We know the correlation is real. And in studies, some studies are beginning to show that the vagal nerve is like the missing link, right? The missing link in dealing with chronic inflammation. The chronic inflammation, the root cause of almost all physical disorders. So you can see powerful stuff, right? Even if you are fabulously healthy, you cannot ignore this. You can't ignore this connection because a low vagal tone, low, we all know what that means, right? We all have days when we're vibrating low. We're kind of in a funk. Low vagal tone, anxiety, depression, mood disorders. What happens if you stay there in that low vibration, right? Headaches, migraines, poor satiety or inability to relax while eating. Not good for us to be in that fight or flight mode all the time. Poor breathing patterns, right? Dysregulated, overactive hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, HPA. Back to the HPA again. Dysregulated, not working well. The thing that's supposed to regulate you is out of sync. So you know you're in trouble there, right? Difficulty meditating. You have low vibration. You have trouble maybe focusing, right? Hypochloridria. Hypochloridria. I'm sure there's a better way to say that. Low stomach acid secretion. We need stomach acid. It breaks down the fat. Gallbladder issues. Low or slow bile acid production. Harder to digest fats and clear toxins. Dysbiosis, constipation, intestinal bacteria, poor absorption of nutrients. Oh my God, this list never ends. Hiatal hernia, chronic fatigue, food sensitivities, poor blood flow to the kidneys, high blood pressure, poor glucose control, poor heart rate variability. Basically, the vagal nerve, its main job is to regulate your heart rate. Heart rate goes up as you need it to, down as you need it to, not too much, just the right amount. If your vagal nerve's out of sync, you're not managing your heart rate well, and okay, the heart central to everything, your heart rate. So again, frequent urination, high resting heart rate, cognitive impairment, chronic inflammation, and greater rates of inflammatory conditions, including autoimmune diseases, lupus, rheumatoid. This is getting ugly. Lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and more. Okay, so we need to get our vagal nerves under control, because the list of what happens when you're vibrating too low or when it's out of control and not managing your gut system, were you listening? It's horrific, right? Here's a little quote. Depending on the frequency of vagal stimulation, we know it can turn off an asthma attack, an epileptic seizure, a migraine or cluster headache, and can reduce the perception of acid reflux. So Stephen Silberstein, MD, professor of neurology and director of the Headache Center at Philadelphia's Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Powerful stuff here, right? This is, you're in charge. This is good news, because you can improve your vagal tone. You can raise your vagal vibration, reduce chronic inflammation, and reduce stress, reduce anxiety, move into your sympathetic nervous system and live life calm, relaxed, rest, and digest. It sounds pretty good. All right, so how can we raise our vagal therapy? Here's a couple of ideas. The number one thing on the list, on all the lists, is cold therapy. Cold therapy. When your body gets cold, when you're exposed to cold, it's shown to activate your vagus nerve. When your body adjusts to cold, your fight or flight, your sympathetic nervous system shuts down, your rest and digest, your parasympathetic nervous system steps up, and all mediated by the vagus nerve. So, how do I have cold therapy? Cold showers. They say cold showers are really good for you. I'm in the process now of learning to take a cold shower. I'm still at like 30 or 45 seconds at the end of my, first of all, I've decreased my water temperature from hot to warm, still like a warm shower, not a cold shower. Then at the end, go cold, right? Go cold for 30 to 45 seconds. Trying to increase that amount. I'm not sure I'll get to a totally cold shower, but the good for you is amazing. The other thing you can do is splash cold water on your face. Just take a ice cold, even put ice in the water and put that on your face every day. You are getting, love you on YouTube. Oh, I forgot to announce I'm on YouTube yet. Thank you, Debbie. Excuse me. That's right. A little housekeeping in the middle. I'm on YouTube now. This stream is streaming live to both Facebook and YouTube every day, and I'm starting to post the old episodes on YouTube for your convenience. Tell your friends. We'll be working on the YouTube channel. As we expand and get bigger. Anyway, back to cold showers or cold therapy. Now, I live in California. It really doesn't get that cold here. Even in the coldest of our days, it's like 50 degrees. So this is not available to me. But if you live somewhere that has 4 seasons, step outside into the cold weather without your coat on. Stepping outside in cold temperatures with minimal clothing. Easing your way to cold exposure. Work your way up to longer periods of time. Going in the cold. It is proven that the cold is good for you. Sleep with your window. They say happiest temperature, 57 degrees. Happiness Hack says sleep in the cold with your windows open and a warm blanket on. So cold, cold, cold. Good for you. Okay, vagal stimulation through deep breathing. Well, isn't deep breathing on every list of every idea of improving yourself in any way is deep breathing, right? Anything that has to do with your mindfulness or your physical body has to do with breathing. Why? Because we breathe all day, every day. All day, every day. We are pulling in the life-giving air that we need. And how we do that, how we breathe is so important. Vagal stimulation can cause relaxation, but the opposite is also true. Deep and slow breathing can stimulate your vagus nerves, reducing anxiety, again, putting us back into the parasympathetic. Taking about 6 breaths over the course of a minute is one way to relieve stress. Breathe in deeply, breathe in through your diaphragm, put your hand on your stomach, and make sure your stomach is expanding as you breathe. As you exhale, your stomach collapses. Think of a little balloon in there. As you breathe in, you're filling up the balloon, and as you breathe out, the air is coming out. Your exhale, long and slow. This is key to stimulating the vagus nerve. Now, for me, I like to count. I don't know about you, but I have trouble understanding how many breaths to take how many long to take a breath to get 6 of them in a minute. That's too much for me. So I just count out my breaths. I like 2-6-4. Not 2-6-4. 4-6-4. Breathe in 4. Hold for 6. Breathe out 4. I like a 4x4. That's the Navy SEALs breathing technique for clarity. I like just deep breathing. Breathe in on a number and then double that number on the exhale. It's all about the exhale, right? Breathing in is easy. Exhale is where all the action happens. So, but if you implement a 10-minute deep breathing routine daily, 10 minutes where you just breathe, focus on your breath, draw the breath in, feel that life energy coming in, let go. Good morning, Joanne. breathe out, let go of all that crap that needs to come out of you, right? Comes out. So 10 minutes breathing. There's even apps. You don't like breathing on your own? There's an app for that. You can get a breathing app, or just counting helps. But take a few minutes every day for deep breathing, and that sets your vagal tone on high for the entire day. Okay. And here's my favorite. Singing, humming, and gargling. You are the most powerful sound healer that you have available to you. You personally, you making sounds, right? I went to sound healing last night. My dear friend is a gong artist, and I went to a most amazing sound healing last night, which we'll talk about at another time. But she says, and she plays crystal gem bowls and Tibetan metal bowls and gongs and all kinds of sound healing devices. And even she says, the most powerful device you have for sound healing and for tuning, right here, right? Singing and humming. They're relaxing on their own, but there's a psychological reason for it. The vagus nerves passes through the vocal cords and the inner ear. Research published in Frontiers in Psychology shows singing, humming, gargling can help activate it. Try singing on a daily basis. Okay, personally, I love to sing. This isn't about being a good singer. This is just about the joy of producing the sound coming out of you. Sing along with the radio. Sing in the shower. Turn on a song you and your family love and sing together. Nothing better than the collective energy of singing together. Sing as loudly as you can. It works the muscles in the back of your throat, and that activates your vagus nerve because it passes right down through there. You don't like to sing? Not everybody is comfortable just opening their mouth and letting it all hang out, right? Humming. You can just hum. Still works. Pick your favorite tune and hum. The vibration. You can get really crazy and get into toning with sounds and vowel sounds and chants and mantras. All good for you. All work the same thing. All work in that back of your vocal cords, stimulating your vagus nerves, raising your vibration. You know what's really great for you? Gargling, just with water a couple times a day. Again, the back of the throat. When you gargle, supercharge the muscles in the back of your throat. Activates the vagus nerve, stimulates the gastrointestinal tract. If you drink a lot of water. Gargle, it says gargle each sip until you finish the glass of water. Have your glass of water, or maybe you just gargle a little at the end. Gargle long enough and deep enough to make it a bit challenging. It won't work unless it's more challenging. Just going, doesn't help. I gargle in the shower every morning. I use Listerine. Good for my teeth, right? Good for my breath. And I gargle until the foam, this is my routine. I put it in my mouth and I gargle as long as I possibly can, usually until the foam overtakes me and it overflows my mouth. How disgusting is that? You're in the shower. You can do all kinds of disgusting things in the shower. It says, do this exercise several times a week to strengthen your vagal pathways. This is discussed more in Dr. Dadis Karazian's book, Why Isn't My Brain Working? Okay, now wave vibration. This is a therapy involving standing on an oscillating plate that produces low-level vibrations, and they create positive stress through your body, kind of like exercise, and stimulates the vagal nerve. Researchers say that exercising on a vibration plate can be as effective as conventional exercise with less time and effort. Or your gym might have them. But you could also, don't have a vibration plate, rebounding. Also an effective form of wave vibration. You know what rebounding is? It's that tiny little trampoline that exercisers use. I think I even have one. It's a budget-friendly way to get the benefits of a wave vibration system. Good for your lymphatic system. Jumping up and down on a little, can do it. Okay, meditation. meditation will increase your vagal nerve. In 2010, a couple ladies, Barbara Fredrickson and Bethany Koch, recruited 70 university staff members for an experiment. They asked each to record the strength of emotions they felt every day. Vagal tone. Now they were using the actual instrument to measure the vagal tone. Right? There's actually a thing out there that'll measure it. They measured it at the beginning and at the end of the experiment for 9 weeks. And as part of this experiment, half the participants were taught a meditation technique to promote feelings of goodwill towards themselves and others. So you know what happened. Those who meditated showed a significant rise in vagal tone over the course of the 9 weeks, which was associated with positive emotions, right? It was the first experimental evidence that increasing positive emotions led to increased social closeness, and by the way, change in your vocal tone. So 20 minutes a day, routine daily, to meditate. If it's hard for you, so many wonderful guided meditations available on the internet. So if it's hard for you to just meditate by yourself, I find a guided meditation is very helpful to me. I listen to them all the time. Meditation, raising the vagal nerve. And then, of course, yoga. Yoga was basically invented for this purpose. It incorporates diaphragmatic breathing, right? The positions are created. Yoga positions are created to increase your vagal, or to stimulate your vagal nerve, to increase your vagal tone. It's the purpose of yoga. All of them, chanting, hands above the head, everything we do in yoga is designed to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And massage, right? Who doesn't love a good massage? That's another way. Sometimes we think of it as a luxury item, but maybe we should consider it a necessity, like eating or exercising, right? In years, recently, a lot of studies have documented great benefits, emotional and physical, from regular massage. And it, again, can stimulate the vagus nerve. In a study in 2012, premature infants were massaged had greater weight gain than those that did not. Foot reflexology. Oh my God, I love that. Massaging your feet, it's the best massage ever. Can also increase your vagal nerve. I'm in acupuncture. Another way to increase the vagal nerve. Acupuncture regulates vagal activity. Of course, they're sticking a needle directly into the flow of the energy in your body. Makes sense to me. And bitter herbs and foods. Bitter herbs and foods aid digestion and can stimulate the vagus nerve. Some of them, maybe like a tea, because they don't taste good because they're bitter. But here's the list. Arugula, basil, bitter melon, chamomile, cilantro, dandelion, dark chocolate, dill, fenugreek seeds, golden seal, horseradish, Japanese eggplant, jicama, kale, leafy green. Oh, kale did so good it made the list twice. Leafy greens, lettuce, milk thistle, nettles, parsley, radish, sesame, turmeric, watercress. Eat just some bitter herbs. And finally, the last thing on our list, as we're running out of time, the last thing on our list, raise your vagal nerve. Laughter. We did a whole show on laughter, right? You can make yourself laugh anytime. You think it's not hard. You can, and your body doesn't care if you're laughing because you're watching a funny show or because you just break into laughter. Your body doesn't care. The benefits are the same. We already know laughter. We did a whole show on laughter and its benefits. But studies show laughter boosts resiliency in your immune system by increasing the count and the veracity of your immune system natural killer cells. T cells, antibodies, interferon, right? It also has been shown to improve vagal tone through reducing muscle tension in the face, neck, and diaphragm. I'm putting laughter on my list of options, or my list of ways to be happier, ways to increase our vibration, ways to reduce our stress, ways to improve our overall satisfaction with life, right? Laughter, always the best medicine. So the note is to please be patient with these methods. Chances are, if your vagal nerve is vibrating a little low, it's a pattern, right? Not a one-day event, but a pattern. And so it'll take time to strengthen that vagal tone, just like you're not going to get a six-pack when you start exercising tomorrow, right? The six-pack doesn't appear the day you start the exercise program. But consistent and persistent effort means you know that it will appear. So same thing here. It may take a few weeks of meditating and laughing and taking cold showers and gargling and singing, things we talked about, to improve your vagal tone and your gut-brain axis. You might need to do it for a while, but just know the benefits are proven by science and are on their way. Consistent and persistent. Don't give up. So that's our show for today. I'd love it if you leave me a note. Let me know what you think about the show. I love Lyra emojis and emoticons. Love it even more if maybe you know somebody that would enjoy the show. Share it. Anyway, I love the vagal nerve. I love this chat. I'm excited about stimulating my vagal nerve on a regular basis. Viva Las Vegas. That's what I say. So there we go. Now tomorrow, very special guest tomorrow, Marianne Nayamiyani is my guest all the way from Kenya. She is a woman who saw the need of the women in her community without much opportunity. And she organized them to make jewelry, do beading and make beaded jewelry, and helps them to sell it to help contribute to her community and the women, specifically the women in her community. So it's going to be a great interview tomorrow. I highly encourage you to join me. And until tomorrow, make it a great day. Make it a happy day.